welcome to Cafe Soul. My name is King James, your host. Once again, I'd like to welcome you into my living room. I think that's appropriate. And as always, we have an eclectic blend of music, views, and entertainment. Now, for those that don't know you, see, I know you. Kevin works in education, and you provide a very valuable service. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, it comes through UCLA, okay, from early academic outreach, and it's part of student affairs from the Office of the Vice Chancellor. My position is site coordinator of that position. I work in 5 different high schools within the LA area, and those schools are, so I can put some pub out there on it, those schools are Washington Preparatory High School, Inglewood High School, Morningside High School, Manual Arts High School, and Taft High School. So I work out in those high schools, and I motivate students from 9th grade through their senior year to go towards post-secondary education. So hopefully they're wanting to go towards 4-year institutions or 2-year to transfer into the 4-year. And I work with those students all the way through, from the time they start in the 9th grade through their senior year.
Now, here's a question. Most students do have a desire to go to college,
yes,
obviously. And there are situations because of financial restrictions, they find that difficult to do. Do you help in any way in that respect?
We help to give them the information. As far as the giving of money, we give them as much support in that as we can. But our program is not designed to put forth cash, but we can give them the resources as to how to get the cash. So that's why we start so early, to give them the information so they can start working on it, because grants, scholarships, and work study and loans are all available, but we try to get them to know where the scholarships are and where the grants are, so that they don't have to deal with loans so much. And a lot of students are like put off by that, because a lot of students are looking towards the 4-year university, and some universities, being private, $25,000, $30,000, and that puts a negative financial stint in their mind, and they're like, okay, I can't really do it. And you're like, okay, don't worry about that. We can deal with that as long as you continue to do academically well, and your academics and your extracurricular activity will show forth, and we can get the money for you.
Now, how did a man like you get involved in something that was so rewarding as far as helping youth?
Well, it started with a degree that I had gotten, which was in performing arts. I started in the arts section of early academic outreach. Okay. That transcended into a desire to want to work with students themselves one-on-one to see where they were coming from within their heart. It's not just so much that they have great academics and that they're doing well inside the school, because we know that they're going to do that. It's within, that I look for. It's like if their desire is to go towards higher education and they really want it, it's not about the education, it's just what's inside, and I work with that. And I see that in a student, and I take that student by the hand and I mentor them all the way through the process.
Now, you're a father.
Yes.
You sound like a dad, which is a good thing. Now, you have a young son and you have a young daughter.
Yes, I have a young son. His name is Elia. He's 7 years old. He's going to the 2nd grade, and he's doing wonderful in school. Just recently got 2nd place in a spelling bee in his class, and he was very excited about that. Now he's in a basketball camp right now, and we're doing summer bridge work at home. And our daughter's going to the 1st grade. She's 5. She'll be 6 in September, and she's very excited about what she's doing. We're doing summer bridge work with her as well, and we're about to celebrate our anniversary coming up, actually.
Congratulations. Now, what's your philosophy on raising children? Because when we were outside before the show, one of the guests had mentioned that, he had to deal with a 2-year-old, and he had to actually take a little time off to deal with that. So is your philosophy like, spare the rod and spoil the child? Or?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that discipline is a must in the home, and it's a must with your children. It's not a matter of being their friend. You have to be, you have an authority. Yes. And you've been placed in an authority position. When you take that authority as father or mother, you have to take that position and work with it as best you can. Now, a friend you can be.
Yes.
Okay, but if you're that all the time, then they're not going to know what balance there is and how
see,
they
that
can work with you.
clarifies something for me, because when I used to get those whippings and she said, I'm doing this because I love you, now I know the reason why she said that.
Me too.
Yeah. It's like,
it's different and coming out here to LA, because in LA they really don't support R&B music as much.
Okay.
So, but as far as like, music is national, so I mean, the whole idea is to promote your music nationally. So.
Baby, don't you cry. It's gonna be alright. The love that I provide is gonna keep us warm at night. Baby, don't you cry. Forever stay in my life. Baby, don't you cry.
We do have a few surprises in store. We even have a sister act today, and we also have a former USC Trojan in the house. Obviously, there was a lot of noise made about the USC game, so we'll get to that shortly. Is there anything that you would like to leave with the audience as far as any advice for the young adults or young ladies in general, or anything that you would just like to address the youth to the youth?
Well, obviously, my heart is very connected with those young men that are trying to pursue the aspirations of playing football. And one of the things that I really would tell them to do is to look past football. I know a lot of times myself, I just look to the immediate future, which was the next year, the next football endeavor. Mm-hmm. And football, as you mentioned, very few people make it. Right. And even if you do make it, the average life of a football player in the NFL is 5 years.
Were they pretty impressed by you being on screen with The Rock?
Well, yeah. I should say this more than anything, my mother was. Okay. Oh, God bless her heart. She's like, you're in a movie, you're in a big movie. I'm like, it was small. She's like, it doesn't matter. So she's like my biggest fan. Okay. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, because obviously I'm sure that because of what you've gone through, to get major parts like that, there probably is some good advice that you can give to someone that's just beginning, new in town, wanting to get an agent. In a couple of sentences, can you sum up 3 important things that you would tell a young aspiring actress?
Well, 3 things I would say is to stay focused, hold on to your dreams, and work hard.
Days when I feel the best of me is ready to begin. Then there are days when I feel like letting go, soaring on the wind. 'Cause I'm learning after all how to survive. There's no turning back, no. What's gonna happen next? I'm gonna.
And maybe the support of the mother or father isn't quite there. What would you say to a youth like that? What kind of advice would you give to a young man, maybe in a similar situation?
The years that I was taught that if it isn't written, it doesn't exist. And when you take the time to write out your goals, your plans.
All I had to give, that's all I had to give. All I had to give, and promises, that's all I had to give.
Once upon a time, liberty divorced responsibility and forced a litter of little children into this cruel, cold world, their firstborn a girl, and in respect, we'll protect her identity, and for the sake of the story, we'll just simply call her Greed. A high-maintenance professional, a bachelorette with unquenchable needs, ever evolving in a seductive manner of glamour. Greed scars are so deep that they run more than the usual. And her blood boils as she enters into another dimension. She's trying to get high enough to get God's attention. And you know what's sad? Is even all of this isn't enough. That's why I'm screaming from this balcony, and I'm about to jump. Better to hurt you and take revenge if I'll never be happy. I guess the only way out of this one is if God decides to catch me.
And I'll do anything to please him. No, I ain't playing, I'll go way beyond the deep end. Hopeless romantic, hear the truth in what I'm speaking. It's so damn hard to find a good man these days. Now that I found him, he will not get away. Walk the desert without food or clothing for his shelter. He'll do the same, he loves me just like I love him. Ladies, listen to me. Love your man intensely. He's got me out there. He's got